The Four Horsemen. Pestilence, war, famine, and death are dark figures discussed in the New Testament. It is prophesied that they will bring the final judgment, the apocalypse of humankind. The Four Horsemen represent the deepest universal fears we share, serving as reminders of the evil that can arise from within humanity. Yes, they foretell the downfall of humanity, but rather than representing an unavoidable doom, they actually provide a spiritual framework that we can use to achieve salvation. Next, let's look at the Four Horsemen and what they actually represent. The first horseman, conquest. The first horseman carries a bow and is seen as a symbol of conquest, the power to conquer and influence the events. It can represent both its positive and negative aspects. Spiritually, this horseman is associated with our physical body. The physical body is the vessel through which we interact with the world and assert our will. The white horse reminds us of the power we hold over our actions and their consequences. When the physical body is in balance, it can bring about positive achievements and accomplishments. However, when it is driven by ego and selfish desires, it can lead to destructive conquest and dominance. The second horseman, war and conflict. The second horseman wields a sword, symbolizing war and strife. It speaks of the chaos that arise from the actions and choices of human beings. Spiritually, this horseman is associated with the emotional body, which encompasses our feelings, desires, and passions. It reflects the destructive power of uncontrolled emotions. The red horse emphasizes the importance of emotional balance and the potential for destructive tendencies. When the emotional body is ruled by anger, aggression, and hatred, it will ignite personal and societal conflicts. It is through emotional maturity and balance that we can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. The third horseman, famine and scarcity. The third horseman carries scales, symbolizing famine and scarcity. It represents the deprivation of resources. Spiritually, it is linked to the mental body, which encompasses our thoughts, beliefs, and perception of reality. The black horse urges to cultivate clarity of thought and responsible decision-making. When the mental body is clouded by fear, lack, and pessimism, it will create a sense of mental famine, which will be reflected in reality. The Black Horseman thus warns against the scarcity mindset and the distorted belief in limitation. The fourth horseman, death and final judgment. The final horseman rides a pale horse and is identified as death. This figure signifies the ultimate fate of all living beings and the inevitability of mortality. Spiritually, this horseman represents our etheric body, the bridge between the physical and spiritual realms that allows us to transcend the fear of death and embrace the eternal nature of the soul. The pale horse embodies the impermanence of life. It reminds us that death is a key part of the cycle of existence and that transformation is necessary for new beginnings to emerge. It calls on us to contemplate the larger existential questions and seek spiritual growth and understanding. By understanding the symbolism of the four horsemen and their connection to our divine self, we gain insight into the relationship between our consciousness and the external world. It calls on us to recognize the impact of our thoughts, emotions, and actions and strive for balance within ourselves. Through self-awareness and spiritual growth, we can transform the destructive aspects associated with the horseman and cultivate a higher state of consciousness. This is how we achieve salvation and avert the prophecy of the apocalypse. I hope you have enjoyed learning about this important biblical prophecy. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share this important information with your loved ones. See you soon for the next Spirituality mini-series.